Hello everyone and welcome back to more Seduce Me 2, the Demon War. We are back for more Matthew route because in the last episode, what ended up happening? Well, let's see. Well, we woke up that next morning after, talking to Diana in the middle of the night and was like, yeah, nothing's going on. Everything's all good. So we woke up the next morning. Matthew was like, "Oh, I don't want to go to training. Let's just try to, let's play hooky." So we ended up getting into an impromptu pillow fight, all really cute, all really innocent. But then Diana walks in with breakfast, and then she nearly loses her head because Matthew just freaked out and just chucked a knife in her direction. And so we were surprised. We were like, "What the hell's wrong with you, Matthew?" And then Matthew kind of snapped out of it. And was, or more like Diana was like, "What the hell's wrong with you, Matthew?" So we were just shocked. So Matthew snapped out of it, was like, "What the fuck did I just do? Holy crap, I'm so sorry." But then Diana was like, "You try that shit again, is like, I'm gonna end up just slicing your throat instead." So we diffused the situation between Diana and Matthew because Matthew obviously was like, he didn't mean it. But then when Diana left, we were like, what's up? Like, what's gone into you, kind of thing, or what happened? And he's like, yeah, something got into me. I heard my mom's voice, and then suddenly, oh no, he didn't say that. He just kind of was like, I had no idea what I was doing. I think was that, yeah. So we left it at that, I think, and then we went out to go train with Rabbit, but then we bumped into Bajang, which was the Rabbit's associate, or like, assistant or something, and he wanted to talk to Dana about something. So he leaves off with that. We come to Rabbit, see her training, get on to training as well. And then as we're training and stuff with our endurance, Bajang comes back in and told Rabbit that Dana would meet with her tomorrow morning instead of tonight, and Rabbit's just like really impatient about it, and we were like, "Oh, what are you guys talking about?" And we're like, "What are you guys talking about?" And then Rabbit's just like, "Oh, it's nothing important, whatever. Just like, let's continue training." And then before we ended up leaving for that night, she was like, "Can you come by later? Because I wanted to talk to Dana about private matters, and so yeah, I don't want you listening in on this kind of thing." So we're like, "Okay, whatever." Even though we're curious and we're dying to know, but yeah, we leave it at that. Come back into our room, and we see Matthew trying to choke the shit out of Simon, and we have no idea what he did, but it was unlike Matthew, so we kind of like rushed at him and was like, "What's wrong with you? Like, stop it." And then afterwards, after a while, he kind of snapped out of his rage mode, and then he was like, "Oh my god, what was I doing?" kind of thing. And that was when we were like, "What's going on?" like, kind of thing. And I think that's when we suggested that we would go to the other brothers for help, and he was like, "I can't do that because, that they always baby me, and, every single time I'm in trouble, it's always them coming to help, and I don't want to be treated like that," and shit. And that was his like inner insecurity that he has. And he also kind of explained that, yeah, whenever he hears his mom's voice, then he kind of loses control of himself. Like, he doesn't know what's going on and what he ended up doing, and it's usually something that he ends up doing wrong. So yeah, so we comfort him about his insecurity and how he was degrading himself, and we're like, "No, we love you for you," kind of thing. And because he was questioning us, like, "Oh, why do you even like me?" kind of thing. And so yeah, so there's that. We had a little bit of sexy time because of that. And then what happened? And then the next morning, which is surprising to us because Matthew was gone already, he came back and he made us breakfast, and we're like, "What the hell? Matthew is just not the type of guy to get up so early in the morning, let alone kind of do this and make breakfast kind of thing. Like, it's strange." So we were weirded out. He goes off to train before we can really question him about it. Dana comes back in with breakfast again, but then she was just like, "Oh, you got breakfast already?" He's like, "When the hell did you make it?" kind of thing. And we try to keep it down low. We tried to keep it down low. And then when she asked us when Matthew made it, we were like, "This morning," but she was like, "I didn't know this. Like, why didn't anyone tell me this?" kind of thing. So she was suspicious. She was hella sus, and she was like, "Well, do you want to talk to me about it now?" And we were like, "No." And then afterwards, even though we couldn't defend our case, Dana was like, "Hey, I'm gonna have people keep an eye on him, and if some crazy shit's gonna happen, I'll be the first to know." So yeah, that's what ended up happening. And then we left to go train again with Rabbit, except Diana and Rabbit were in a heated argument in the room that we were training in. And it was over the issue with Rabbit wanting to liberate her kind, but then Diana was like, that's impossible because, I can't do this overnight, and if I did, then that would mean that, people would, slaughter your kind out of desperation because, they're treated as slaves and belongings to people, and so that's the desperate kind of measure to, kill them off if she were to, outlaw the fact that animal demons are no longer slaves. So that made Rabbit really angry, that made Diana really angry because Diana was frustrated that Rabbit didn't see the point to it, and Rabbit was also frustrated because she wanted to make a difference by being a war leader, but then, she feels powerless in that sense, and that she feels Diana's too afraid to do it, and they leave at that sour note. Rabbit eventually, tells us about her history of being an animal demon slave and how she was bred up to be and stuff. It was really, it was brutal, and Diana was the one who rescued her eventually along with the rest of her other kind, and she had the hopes of again making a difference with this war with her kind, but then she was frustrated that she couldn't because Diana is being a bitch about it apparently. But anyways, we ourselves see the two sides of the story, so we had a hard time to try to take sides with that, and then afterwards we continued training, I think. And yeah, we continued training after Rabbit told us her story. And then when we were coming back to our room, of course the guards were there, and they got Matthew, took him by the arms, and carried him off elsewhere. And we were freaking out. We were like, what the hell? What's going on? And then Sam comes up and he's like, Matthew did something fucking stupid. And we were like, oh my god, what did he do? Did he fucking kill somebody? And it turns out, yes, he did kill somebody. He up and just did it. And now he's put in this little mini barrier prison that we got in the room going on. And that's when Diana revealed that yes, he ended up killing a guard to try to steal war plans. And then after, the initial shock and stuff, is that we found out that Diana was I could smell you, Demon Lord kind of thing. And that was the whole big reveal. The cat's out of the bag now. We know for sure was that Matthew's being possessed by the Demon Lord somehow, some way, or mind controlled by the Demon Lord. Not too sure, but yeah, Diana figured it out, and now it's let out in the open. And so yes, now we are here. We're just here freaking out because we're like, what the hell? How the hell did this happen? But yeah, I already saw it coming. I even though Hannah, our main heroine, was like, yes, this is getting a little too dangerous, or the thing that's influencing Matthew is getting worse and stuff, but she's just she didn't get the help, or she didn't tell anybody until it got this serious. So let's see what happens.
You figured me out, huh? You may have locked me away in my castle, but my bond to my blood is unbreakable.
Well, he's probably doing it through Matthew's mom, who probably have this special ability to do so. Probably. Matthew pounced off the ground and slammed into the barrier wall, grinning from ear to ear at Diana. Why are you doing this when you can't even break the barrier shit?
And when you come, I will be ready. I know all of your little plans, and will make sure that I completely destroy your precious army, one pathetic soldier at a time. Once I do, I'll make Zakeru my heir, and finally take over the rest of this godforsaken plane, for good.
Okay. Interestingly enough, he didn't say James or whatever, but I figured because he got a hold of Matthew, so it makes sense. This time, however, Diana smirked and tapped the barrier between Matthew's eyes, her irises brightening to a sadistic gold color.
And this is where you fail in war, Demon Lord. Who said we ever wrote anything down about our plans?
Right, because that'd be just fucking dumb. Matthew stared astonished at Diana before snarling madly.
You're lying!
No, why would you think homegirl Diana would be like, Dear Diary, this is what I'm gonna do to end up winning this war against the Demon Lord? You fucking dumb.
Test me, mongrel. I will prove it on the day we lay siege upon your pathetic castle and dominate your puny army.
Yes. Despite how twisted the situation was, the rebel leaders and guards in the room began to nod and smirk at Matthew in agreement with Diana's words. Diana, however, pressed her face against the barrier.
And I swear to you, this war will end with you dying by the hands of a succubus.
And that succubus is me. Okay, yeah, cool. You go, girl. The guards around Diana cheered as Matthew continued to glare hard at Diana, clawing at the barrier wall and to get to her to no avail. Diana straightened back up and scoffed. Yeah.
As for your son, we'll need to do a little surgery.
Surgery? Holy shit, are you authorized to do this? Do you have the license? Oh my god, what do you mean? What do you mean surgery? Surgery? Did something get implanted in him and that we don't even know about? What is going on? I pulled at Irene's and Iridessa's hands, staring at Diana like she was a mad woman. Surgery? What the hell did she mean? Chill, Hannah, okay? Your bae is in good hands, hopefully. But, like, seriously, your bae is not your bae right now, okay? So, I feel like you need to do whatever it takes to get him back. Even if it means him getting the surgery. Whatever this is. Without another word, Diana placed her hand on the barrier and sent another wave of electric shocks into the barrier before Matthew finally passed out entirely. No! I wouldn't care. I would be like, whatever it takes. I'm sorry, it might seem really horrible of me as like if I was his like lover and shit, but like right now it's just he's possessed right now. That's not bae. At last, Iridessa and Irene released me, letting me rush forward and kneel at the barrier, pressing my hands against it and peering in to see Matthew lying unconscious on the floor. I looked up at Diana as she turned and glared at her. Hey now, I wouldn't glare at her. Why did you do that? Whoa, Hannah, don't be fucking dumb. Diana glared back at me before turning away from me, crossing her arms.
Why did you hide this from me?
'Cause I wanted to trust him. Would be my honest answer. Like, he told me to trust him, and so I did because, I want to give him a chance to, but you know what? Like, it turned out for the worse. No, I deserve an explanation. Hannah, don't be fucking dumb. As Diana turned back to me at my explosion, I felt my body instantly froze in fear underneath her sudden golden gaze.
And one of my men deserves not to be dead. Because of your little secret, this boy managed to lose control to whatever has been possessing him and killed one of my top-ranking officers in order to find my decoy battle plans.
I know, right? I'm so sorry. I just thought he had this because he said he would, and you know what? Like, I was fucking dumb. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think it. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm fucking dumb. I'm dumb. Me personally, I would have told somebody. I would have low-key told her and be like, yeah, can you just watch out for him? Because, quite frankly, I don't trust him not trust him in personally, but like trust this whole thing where it's like, it's not gonna get worse. I let it sink in. Matthew had killed someone. The influence on him really forced him to kill someone. I couldn't believe it. As Dana released me from her enthrallment, I buckled to my hands and knees, panting for air.
Was hiding this worth it? Was his precious pride truly worth the life of one of my men?
Now that you say that, no. Totally agree with you 100%. No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this had to happen. Seriously. I shut my eyes knowing how wrong the situation was. Matthew was trying, he was fighting to stop whatever was taking control of him. He needed to do it on his own. But he's not doing a very good job of it. However, before I could think of speaking back, James and Sam stepped forward in front of me, blocking me from Diana.
Forgive him, Diana. He wasn't in control of himself.
But then she was like, well, you should have told me.
And now you're defending him?
Shut the fuck up! You don't understand what he's been through.
Aw, see what? See, like, they don't look down on you, Matthew. God, it's just all in your head. They care for you as an equal brother, okay?
And I don't care! One of my men is dead because of him! Controlled or not, it was his hands that took his life. No amount of pride can justify that.
It's true. We're in the middle of a war right now, and it's like, that is a costly mistake. That was costly. The brothers silenced themselves as I took everything in. Matthew had killed someone, the brothers understood, and Diana had essentially been betrayed. Yep. Part of me screamed that this was all my fault. I didn't open my mouth to fix this. I didn't let anyone know what Matthew was going through. However, Matthew was desperate to do this himself, even though he failed in the end. I didn't say I didn't give him the chance to, I'm just saying. I lowered my head to the ground, gritting my teeth and trying to stop myself from crying. Carrie and Tula rushed to my side, wrapping their arms over me in an attempt to comfort me, but I couldn't feel anything but despair for what was going on. Don't apologize. I'm apologize to her. I'm so sorry. Like, I honestly thought he got it. And you know what? Like, it just was out of control. In the end, this was entirely my fault. I didn't speak up when I should have, and now Matthew was in a cage of sorts, waiting to go through some form of surgery to fix him, right? I gripped the ground and looked up at Dana, tears flowing from my eyes. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry for what happened. Everything was my fault. Well, not entirely my fault, but like... I began to break down, feeling Carrie and Twila fully wrap their arms around me in an attempt to calm me down. Still, I felt horrid, disgusting. The death of one man was entirely because of my silence. Silence lingered in the room as Dana continued to bore her eyes into my soul. At last, Dana let out an irritated sigh.
Enough. We need to figure out how to break this hold the Demon Lord has on him.
Yes, that is the important issue right now. Everyone in the room seemed to agree. I rubbed my face and slowly stood, agreeing as well, and now ready to fix what had happened. Yes. Dana looked at the guards over her shoulders and barked orders.
A chair, a bucket of sweet flowers, and a knife.
A knife? What the hell are you gonna do? God, girl, what are you gonna do with that knife? The soldiers nodded and saluted their queen before rushing off. Dana shook her head and placed her hand on the barrier.
What on earth could have made the control so strong?
I don't know. I want to know that too.
His mother.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That's never mind. I thought it was like an actual item or something, but not like, okay, yeah, mom, I figured. Everyone looked to Damien, seeing him look intensely at his fallen brother with worry.
I can hear her voice, pleading with him to wake up. She keeps apologizing for making him do what he did.
Oh.
So his mother is to blame?
Not entirely, because for sure it's the Demon Lord who's forcing her to do it, so...
No. The Demon Lord is still the one who made him do what he did. The mother was a weakness of his, and only amplified his control.
Yep, true. You got it. Diana sneered at Matthew's unconscious body as the soldiers from before rushed in and placed the chair beside her and the bucket beside it. Okay. Diana slowly sat down across her legs, holding out her hand and feeling a knife being placed into it by a third guard. Okay, what are you gonna do, girl?
We need to figure out how to block his mind from the Demon Lord's control. Once we do that, we can try to dispel it, while the Demon Lord's power isn't using Matthew's energy.
Okay. Alright. Taking a purple peach-shaped fruit from the large basket, Diana began to peel it and slice it open, revealing a black center. However, her focus remained on Matthew. Are you gonna make him swallow it, or are you gonna actually put it in him?
It will take me some time, but I think I can manage it.
Okay. Manage.
Are you sure?
Manage what? What are you doing with? But what are you gonna do with the peach?
I am. Everyone may go and sleep.
Are you sure? I want to stay. I want to stay and see this happen. Everyone slowly nodded and began to leave the room. I, however, stood still, not wanting to leave Matthew alone. As Diana noticed me, she glared softly.
Go to your room and rest. I will call you if something happens.
Okay, fine. I'm sorry. Yeah, I should listen to you, because this is a fucking mess. Her words were venomous, warning me of the thin line I was walking across. As she placed a fruit slice in her mouth, I conceded defeat and left the room, staring at Matthew in utter worry before I exited. That night, I slept alone. I was filled with different emotions: worry, sadness, anger, betrayal, horror. Everything mixed and danced within me as I let out a heavy sigh. This would be a long night. I was barely able to eat or leave my room the following 2 days. I stayed in my room trying to calm down and take everything in. Matthew was a prisoner and Diana had to pull the control out of him somehow. Okay, but how was she doing it? How she was going to do that, I couldn't be sure, but I was certain that this was going to be a large challenge, especially since the Demon Lord was involved. The other wives visited me, helping me eat and go through what I had trained. However, my mind focused on Matthew. I was worried sick for him. I wanted him to be free and wanted him to be okay. Yeah. I knew that this wasn't the case for the moment, but I knew that it had to happen eventually. After all, we were a day away from marching to the siege. Oh wow, okay. I gripped my hair and closed my eyes, trying to remember if there was anything I did to help stop the control. I was there for him, but... I mean, you snapped him out of it, but that was when he wasn't swinging a knife around or some shit, you know? It slowly dawned on me, I was there for him. His love for me was what kept him focused. I was there each time he lost control, and I managed to bring him down from that. Okay, cool, yeah, true. It was something, a risky something, but something nonetheless. Okay. Maybe you can mentally, communicate with him. Be like, Matthew, you got this. I know, I believe in you, and you can break control. I rushed out of the room and into the grand hall, seeing Diana continue to stare into the barrier. Inside, however, was Matthew sitting cross-legged and smirking at Diana. Wow, you guys are just gonna sit and stare at each other like this? Like, really? Matthew. Diana and Matthew looked over at me, surprised to see me enter.
Human, what are you?
I'm gonna try to do something crazy. You can stop me if it goes a little wary, but I'm gonna try this. Hold up. I ignored Diana and continued forward, standing in front of the barrier and staring into Matthew's eyes. Matthew, come back to me. Come back to the light. Matthew, it's me. Wake up and get a hold of yourself. Yeah, get your shit together. Matthew stared in shock at me before smirking and crawling over with a pout.
Aw, is the little human upset that she can't get fucked by her incubus?
Oh my god. Okay, no. I wasn't talking to you. Okay, get out. I had to ignore him. The demon lord was taunting me, tempting me to get angry. Still, I concentrated on Matthew's eyes, knowing Matthew was in there somewhere. Somehow, some way. Matthew, I know you're there. You can fight this. I know you can. Come on. I could see a small glimmer in Matthew's eyes, proving that I was right. I smiled and pressed my hands against the walls of the barrier, trying to press myself against the magic blocking Matthew from me. Come back to me. Listen to me. You can stop this. You can do this yourself. Right? You said you could do this yourself, so prove it. Prove it to me right here, right now. I began to fill with hope, despite my words also reaching the demon lord. Matthew was also listening, and I could only hope that my love was fueling his need to stop his father's control. Can't just do this, Matthew, okay? Why are you letting him do this to you? Why are you letting him disrespect you like this? The barrier beneath my hand slowly began to desolidify as my body slowly pressed into the wall and suddenly barrel whirled inside. Whoops! Whoop! Gah! That was unintentional. Hey there.
No!
Oh shit. I looked up, finding myself inside the barrier, somehow looking around and seeing Matthew staring at me intensely. I gulped, knowing that the demon lord was still there, running Matthew's every movement, every word that ran from his lips. Come on. I believed in him. I slowly stood up and walked over, opening my arms for him. It's okay! You're not gonna fucking stab me! I trust you on this! Do it! Come on. Please. Matthew, I love you and I'm here for you. Please break through this and come back to me. Come back to me. Come back home. Come back home. Please, don't fucking stare at me. But, like, seriously though. Slowly, Matthew walked forward, shakily reaching out his hands for me. I could see the desperation in his eyes as he tried to listen. Yes, that was it. Come on, Matthew, fight it. Do it. Do it, Matthew. I walked forward and held his hands before feeling them slide up to my cheeks, warming my face with his palms.
Ew.
Oh, please. For a moment, a glimmer of his blue eyes filled my heart with joy. I gripped his hands, desperate for him to hang on and fight. Come on, you can do this! You got this! Finally, Matthew gritted his teeth and released my face, gripping his head.
Get out of my head!
Yes, do it! Yes, you got it! Matthew, yes! I believe in you! Hashtag believe! I rushed over, wrapping my arm around his back as Matthew sank to his knees, digging his fingers into his hair. I could hear Dinah trying to see what was going on, but my body managed to block her view. Matthew looked up at the wall and snarled. Ugh.
Get out!
Yeah, you show him! Ugh! Matthew shouted at the sky, arching back and releasing a large red wave of energy from his body. It zipped into the air and broke free of the barrier, circling over the ceiling like a thundercloud. Ugh, get that out! Get it out! In quick response, Diana pointed her hands out and formed a large purple orb in her hand before tossing it at the energy, capturing it in another cage and letting it hit the ground, not locked inside. Yes! Yeah! Good job! Yeah, teamwork. My focus, however, was on Matthew. He panted and coughed, clasping over his neck and chest in pain as he shut his eyes tightly. I barely noticed the sound of Matthew's brothers and their wives running in to see what had happened. Got it under control. Got it! Fixed it! I lifted Matthew in my arms and caught his eyes as he opened them, seeing the man I love once again back in my arms. Welcome back! How was your trip? Awful, wasn't it? Matthew? You good? Matthew very slowly let a grin run across his face as he lifted a hand and cupped my cheek.
Hey, beautiful.
Shut up! Don't give me that! Don't give me that! You nearly fucked us over because you lost control. My breath hitched as I quickly fell forward and wrapped my arms around Matthew, uncaring that the barrier around us slowly the barrier around us was slowly being dispelled by Diana. Matthew wrapped his arms around my form, hugging me tightly and kissing over my neck.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. I got you. I got you. Got your back. You're welcome. Yeah. The moments seemed to last forever, a private world with me and Matthew in each other's arms, desperate not to let go. However, Diana's voice caused us to slowly separate and look up at her.
Not that I care that I'm breaking this moment apart, but we have more important things to do than this.
I know. I would have been like her too. It's like, not that I care, but like, still. Diana rolled her eyes and took up the orb that held the Demon Lord's control energy, staring into it with a piercing gaze. Yeah, what the fuck are we gonna do with it?
I will take care of this.
Okay.
But I'm positive that this is not all of it. After all, he did control you enough to kill.
Yep, so... yeah. I felt myself slump over. She really wasn't going to forgive him, but she was right. The Demon Lord's control was ultra powerful. Who knew how much control he really had, right? Diana sighed and willed the orb away into the air before looking to us.
Well then, I've spent enough time fixing this. Now I must prepare for a war.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay, bye. I'm sorry this had to happen this way. I still feel really bad. Diana nodded to us and left without another word. Matthew, however, grinned at me and nuzzled my forehead.
I guess I really did need saving after all.
Oh yeah, no shit. You ended up killing somebody. I don't even know if you're aware of that. I shook my head, knowing that was not true. I was there to help, not there to save. Yeah, I was... true. That's true. It was a 50-50 effort, okay? I just had some encouraging words. I kissed Matthew's cheek and smiled. I only helped you, dude, on your own. You broke his control over you, not me. Yes. We chuckled at each other. We chuckled for each other, slowly standing and happy to be in each other's arms at last. James, however, stepped forward with a frown, causing Matthew to release me.
Matthew, I apologize for not being a proper brother for you and treating you with the respect you deserved. I would never want you to not trust me or the others.
Yeah, exactly. Aw. Like, I'm sure they don't think of him that way. In agreement, the other brothers stepped up and nodded, ashamed as well. Matthew stared at all of them in shock before kissing my cheek and stepping towards them.
Hey. You're my brothers. We're supposed to support and protect each other, right?
Right. So let this all be a lesson learned in case one of y'all get possessed, is that it's important that we share this information and get help, okay? Before, the one being possessed ends up killing someone. All 5 of them smiled at each other as I felt myself needing to rest once more. I held the wall slightly, maintaining my balance as I shook my head and looked up at the brothers, seeing them happily rekindle the brotherly love they had before. Yeah. Ah, so good. So nice. Doll. I looked to the wise, winking before sneaking out. Matthew needed some time with his brothers to settle some differences. I would wait for him in the room. Yeah. Let's just let them have their moment. So I began to make my way back to my room, but stopped as I heard the sound of Whisper's voices sneak through the barely open door. Ah, there we go. Here we go. The coup d'etat. Okay, I'm gonna skip this. I'm gonna just barrel on ahead and not kill Diana the first time around, and then come back to it and see what would happen if Rabbit took control and we end up poisoning Diana. And I'm pretty sure what I said before would happen, which is Rabbit trying to liberate her kind, and then in the end a lot of them would be slaughtered. So yeah, I'm gonna skip this portion, and then we will see what would happen afterwards. So yeah. Okay, there we go. Diana doesn't deserve the throne. There we go. I figured. I looked to Rabbit, shocked to hear her say that she had joined the rebellion because Diana wanted to make things better. Why does she not deserve the throne now? Rabbit turned fully to me and stepped forward.
We all joined the rebellion to make this world a better place. But Diana has proven that she doesn't care about anything other than defeating the Demon Lord for revenge. She is not a real leader.
Now, girl, you don't know that. You don't know that. Is it because she didn't approve of what you said to her? Is this some personal matters? It's not just that. I know you. You told me everything. Rabbit flinched a bit, remembering that I had eavesdropped on that conversation as well. She looked at the ground and let out a sigh.
I joined this rebellion to fix the broken caste system. With Diana on the throne, nothing will change. Demons will still be forced to live as they were, and my kind will continue to be nothing more than slaves and servants.
Well, you don't know that. Again, like I said, you don't know that. Maybe she will end up making that change. It's just not happening fast enough for you, okay? It's not happening fast enough for your standards. The rage in Rabbit's eyes as she looked up at me could kill. I felt myself become fearful of her as she took another step towards me.
If this madness has dulled her sense of duty to the world, and I join this war for nothing, then I will be happy to rid the world of her, if that keeps my kind from being kept under her foot.
Okay, girl, whatever you say. Her cause was noble. I felt myself become lost in whose side I was on as Rabbit closed her eyes and took a breath to calm down. Is that it? Okay, there we go. Anyways, regardless, we're not gonna kill her. Not this time around. Just for story progression sake. There we go. So I finally returned to our room and flopped onto the bed, letting the events of my time in the Abyssal Plains replay in my mind. I had been trapped here, and soon enough I was about to go marching into battle against the Demon Lord for my freedom. The more I thought about it, the more surreal the feeling became. I was going to be in a room, meeting a powerful adversary face to face, and set myself free of the curse he brought down upon me. What made my head spin was the fact that Matthew had been under the influence of his father and mother's control. It was beyond imaginary, yet it happened. I couldn't believe it, but at the same time, I had no choice but to come to terms with it. Hopefully, it won't come up during the actual battle, because that would be awful. As Matthew entered the room at last, I smiled and stood, walking over and wrapping my arms around him as he returned my embrace. Hey, had a really nice bonding moment with your brothers.
You're the best person in the entire universe. You know that?
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, I'm really great. And you are too, Matthew. And that's what's important, is that you are too. We held each other locked in silence and unable to say anything more. We had been in a heavy predicament and we escaped. Sure, the Demon Lord may have still had some sway over Matthew, but it wasn't enough to control him now. All we could do in the moment was hold each other and listen to our synchronized heartbeats. As the thought of tomorrow danced in my head, I began to fear it even more. Was I ready to go into battle? Was Matthew, or any of us for that matter, we were about to walk into the final battle of a world war? Yes. And yeah, will we survive? Would I live to see Matthew afterward and feel his embrace again? Tomorrow brought too many questions to think about, and I became frustrated and scared. And of course, we make love. We gotta do it. I mean, we've been doing it, like, for most of the brothers so far, so why stop here? Do it. I needed to hold him and treat the night like it was the last night of the world. Tomorrow was unpredictable, but tonight was guaranteed, yes. I guided Matthew back and sat on the bed, looking up at him before slowly easing out of my shirt, locking my eyes with him as I slowly began to strip for him. His breath became slightly hitched as he watched, obeying my silent demand to keep his eyes on me. As I finally became bare from the waist up, I pressed my hands onto the bed and slid back, letting my legs up onto the mattress and holding them out for him to do the honors. Yes, take my pants. I tilted my head, letting him get the picture as I dangled my legs out for him. Pants. Now. You. Yes. Off. Matthew let out a shy sigh before nodding and biting his lower lip and crawling up onto the bed, grasping my clothes and sliding them off my legs, leaving me completely bare for him. As he tossed my clothes to the side, I settled back onto the bed and held out my arms to him. Come here, you! Ruining the mood. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Obediently, Matthew followed, kneeling between my legs and pressing his hands on both sides of my body, staring deep into my eyes and making me become lost in his gorgeous blue irises. I slowly danced my arms up over his shoulders and felt his skin slightly heat up beneath my hands and making me slightly smirk up at my loving incubus. Yes. I'm all yours. I want you to take all of me. Yes. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. The carnal desire that flashed in his eyes made my body shudder even before his enthrallment began to settle into my body and completely encase my core in desire there.
I don't deserve you.
Shut up and kiss me. Our words became muffled, lost in the air as he pressed his lips hard against mine and quickly began to discard his jeans, joining me in my bare exposure and taking in my scent as I relished feeling his skin against mine. However, what surprised me was him turning me over and wrapping his arms around my waist, hugging me back against his chest. I took the hint to grip onto the bedpost and arched my back for him, impatient. Oh, okay. Then pleasure racked through me and I became a moaning mess in his arms. Okay. The bed rocked hard against the wall as I dug my nails into the wood and took in his love with our lovemaking. My heart sung areas of love as my core screamed songs of ecstasy for the man taking me. Goodness gracious. This was indeed our last night in the demon world, so we would relish the feeling of magic and lust melding around us as we soared into euphoria. Even as we angled ourselves to lock lips, our inhibitions became lost in the air. We became rough, rapid, and roared in the pleasure that rushed through us, quickly washing through our peaks once, twice, 3 times. Damn. We didn't care to count farther, losing our senses within our arm. Okay, wow. Okay, shit. As our ride eventually had to end, we settled onto the mattress, panting and gasping. The natural musk of our sweat danced in the air, and as we slowly cuddled together and relaxed into the sheets beneath our bodies. I was dizzy, swimming in oceans of joy and love within Matthew's arms, causing me to nuzzle my head underneath his and kiss over his Adam's apple. I'll always be here, in your arms. Yes.
And I'll be here in yours. I promise.
Okay. As a sense of hope and courage wrapped around us that night, laced with our undying commitment for each other. Then you best not let the demon lord control you, because in the final fight, I need you to back me up, and if you can't do that, then shit, I'm fucked. We would survive, we would be okay. I felt safe in Matthew's arms, and I'm sure he felt safe in mine. We would return to the human world and be okay. Tomorrow would decide everything, right? Some bullshit's gonna go down, I swear to God. Alright, the day of the siege, I'm probably gonna skip on ahead to the point where we just enter in the tree line and do our thing, okay? So yeah. Yeah, man, well, I'm nervous. How about you? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm ready to fight. Yeah, haha. Matthew wrapped an arm around my waist and turned my body to him, hugging me closely.
Hey, everything will be okay, alright?
Cool, yeah, alright. As long as you don't betray me in the end, then it's all good. Alright, I totally forgot this part, but anyways, I'll just include it in. But for sure, for reals, we're gonna skip to the tree line part. Okay, here we go. So the journey was surprisingly uneventful. The sound of the war boomed beside us outside the tree line, causing me to cover my ears a bit for the volume, but I shook my head and pressed forward, not wanting to become distracted, yes. The goal was to get to the castle. I had to focus. Yeah. As the line of incoming imps came to view, I glared to stop, placing a hand over my chest and preparing to summon my guardian. There we go! Let's go, Aslan! Aslan, I choose you! Waves of energy pulsed around me before I jutted my hand out, forcing the familiar lavender and white mist to shoot out from my hand and slam itself onto the ground ahead of me. Yes. As it cleared, it formed my animal guardian, who let out a large battle roar and made the trees around us tremble from the sheer force of its voice. Yes. Why are you not going? I could hear my incubus jump back at the sound, surprised to see my summoning and staring at it in awe at the same time.
Ah! Whoa, what the?
It's a lion! Yeah, I was gonna say it's a dragon, but it's not. However, I didn't care at the moment. All I could focus on were the imps that I had successfully stopped and intimidated with my animal. Yes. Move out of my way! Move, bitch! I jutted my hand forward, pointing at the imps that were stunned from my animal's cry, and commanded my animal forward. Go! Yeah, you go! I choose you! On my command, the lion rushed forward, charging straight at one of the imps ahead of it and pouncing on it. As it landed, it swiped its large paw at the imp, ripping its chest open. Okay. On my command, the wolf? What do you mean the wolf? I thought it was a lion! On my command, the lion rushed forward, beelining toward one of the imps ahead of it and pouncing upon it. As it landed, it snapped its teeth around the neck of the imp, shaking it like a rag doll and ripping its throat open. Ew. Gross. Alright, I rushed forward, causing my incubus to follow behind me as my animal continued to claw and bite through the imps in our path, uncaring if they were attacking or frozen still from fear. The more imps that fell, the more reinforcements became shell-shocked. Some managed to drive their weapons into my animal, causing me to flinch and reel back a bit from the pain. But I pressed forward, knowing that I would be alright in the end. My animal pushed forward as well, animalistic in its carnage. The remaining imps began to quake and step back in fear, most likely never seeing a human use magic and slowly decimate their number. I didn't seem to mind as they became open targets for my animal to strike down as we rushed onward towards the castle. My incubus, despite probably being surprised at my animal's carnage, followed as I continued forward, commanding my animal through every imp that came in commanding my animal through every imp that came in our way. I had lost count of how many crossed us, but I didn't care. All I cared about was getting to the castle. Hopefully Malix is not there this time, because that would be bullshit. By the time we reached the end of the forest, there were a slew of dead bodies behind us. I stood at the tree line, panting and feeling waves of lost energy echo through my body as my animal began to slowly fade away. I watched my animal stare at me, its eyes asking if it had done well. I smiled and nodded slightly before it bowed its head and disappeared from sight, unable to maintain its form any longer without my energy to fuel it. That was all I could do before my energy was expended and a wave of exhaustion rolled through my body. Catch me, Matthew! I began to fall forward, exhausted. My fiancé, however, quickly rushed forward and caught me in his arms.
Whoa! Are you alright?
I'm great. Huh? Yeah. I looked up to see Matthew staring down at me, fear and concern dancing in his eyes. We were safe for the moment, so I merely smiled up at him with a nod. I'm fine. I promise to protect you like you protect me. Matthew let out a small laugh before pressing his forehead against mine.
What would I ever do without you?
Be possessed by the demon lord again, I guess. I hugged him back, feeling relieved that we had finally arrived at the castle and were about to rush inside. As we slowly pulled away, Matthew lifted me up and held me to my feet.
Come on. You ready?
Yeah, yo, I was born ready, even though I'm probably not gonna have anything to do with this fight. I nodded, shaking off the exhaustion from my mind. I was ready to end this. I looked up to the castle gates and felt a rush of determination run through me. Oh my god, we actually get through. We actually go through this without fucking, fighting a second boss. Let's go finish this. Yes. With that, Matthew and I rushed forwards into the castle. The final battle had begun. Hey yo, what's up, bitches? We quickly rushed into the demon lord's castle, desperate to get inside and aid Diana in fighting the demon lord. Homegirl, what's up? What's happening? As we rushed in, however, we stopped to see Diana and the demon lord standing off. Diana had her saber tightly gripped in one hand while she glared daggers into her opponent. Okay. The demon lord carried a large smirk on his face as he stood on the dais of his throne. As Matthew and I entered, his smirk grew that much wider. He's probably be like, excellent, I can totally use him as like, my meat shield here. Oh hey, it's Matthew's mom! We actually get to see her this time, wow. Matthew, however, seemed to care more about the woman kneeling on the ground beside the demon lord with her hands on her knees, frowning at him.
Mother!
Oh, mums.
Ah! There he is! My son!
Ugh. No, not your son.
Get him out of here now!
Why? Oh shit, he's probably gonna be like, now take control of him and then just, let him fight Diana. What? I stared at Diana as she continued to face the demon lord. What was she talking about? The demon lord simply laughed and pointed at Matthew. Oh god, why didn't you tell me this in the first place? How could you have not predicted this? Like, you fully said, okay, yeah, I need your backup because, I'm gonna be the one fighting him, and in case of anything, you're there to finish him off. But no, you should have, the whole mind controlling thing, you should have been like, he's probably most likely gonna try to take control of your mind through your mom there, and it's gonna be bad, so hang back kind of thing. No. God.
Well, what are you waiting for? Claim your throne.
Don't do it, Matthew. Come on, I believe in you.
What are you talking?
Uh-oh. At that moment, Matthew's body pulsed with a faint blue light. He curled over his body and gripped his head, digging his fingers into his hair. Oh god, I knew this was gonna happen. Matthew, what's wrong? Oh god, don't do this. Not this shit again. Come on, Matthew, you can do this. Don't do this to me. I swear to god, if you do.
Get him out of here!
Okay. On it. I rushed to Matthew, now terrified to what was happening. Before I could place my hands on his shoulders, however, Matthew vanished into a dissipating afterimage. What? Huh? What the fuck? Oh shit. There he goes. The sound of steel clashing caused me to turn and see Matthew and Diana clashing swords. Diana gritted her teeth as Matthew glared into her gaze. Oh god.
Damn it, fool!
Yeah, sorry, it wasn't fast enough, god damn it. Matthew, please, don't do this to me.
I said, take your throne!
Oh god. Is that the magic words? Matthew's body pulsed again, forcing him to push against Diana and send her flying back to stand beside me. As Diana reached me, she moved a hand in front of me, blocking me from Matthew. Homegirl's so loyal! Oh my god, I want to help you, but I'm so tired. Matthew! God damn it. Matthew, fucking Matthew. Matthew, please! Why you do this? Why did you do this to me? Matthew looked up at me and Diana, his expression twitching from trying to maintain control of himself. His eyes flickered between blue and gold as he gripped to his sword tightly. I wasn't afraid of him, so I stepped out from behind Diana and walked towards him, holding my hands out. Come back to the light! I thought we went over this. Matthew, it's okay. You can overcome this. I believe in you.
Stay back.
You got this, Matthew. Come on. Have some faith in you. I ignored him and continued to walk forward, needing him to be okay. Whatever spell the Demon Lord had on him wasn't powerful enough to consume him. I needed to break its entire hold on him once and for all. Fight it, Matthew. You're strong enough to beat this. I believe. Hashtag believe. Matthew dropped his sword and gripped his head, digging his fingers into his hair and curling over himself. He scratched his nails over his horns, angry and aggravated.
I don't want to hurt you.
I know you don't, then prove it to me. Prove it to me by taking control. You won't, Matthew. I know you won't. At last, I stopped in front of Matthew's body. I gently tilted his head up and cupped his face in both of my hands. His face was warm from the mental struggle as his eyes flickered between blue and gold. I trusted him, though. Come on, I hashtag trust you. Matthew loved me, and his love would crash through the spell. The power of true love! Let me help you. Are you gonna just grab his face and kiss you? Kiss him? Yeah? Yeah. Do it. I quickly leaned in and kissed Matthew's head, making him gasp and freeze within my arms. I felt myself slowly drain of my remaining energy, but I didn't care. Matthew needed it more than me, and if I was able to free him, then I would. Yes. The air around us became lighter and easier to breathe, even as we separated. I stared into Matthew's eyes, seeing him stared wide-eyed at me in shock. They were completely painted in gold, causing my heart to tighten for a moment. Did he break it? I hope so.
Enough of this! Kill her!
No, he's mine. You shut up. You shut the fuck up. As the Demon Lord's voice vibrated in the air, a large sword embedded itself into the Demon Lord's stomach. Yeah, you go, bae! Yeah! Yes! Or is it his mother? It would be really dope if it's his mom.
What the?
What? Oh, okay, cool. Either way, it's all good. It's all good. Matthew looked back to his father, his hand extended out towards him. As his eyes finally regained their ocean blue color, my heart began to jump in ecstatic joy. Damn, you fast. Matthew had broken free from the spell his father trapped him under, thank God. Oh shit. Nearly just pissed myself.
How can this be? Impossible!
Not impossible. Okay.
You expected me to follow your orders, you sick bastard!
Exactly. I stared wide-eyed as Matthew turned around and summoned a new weapon into his fist. A dark blue aura emanated from his body, flickering like flames as he stared at the Demon Lord. The Demon Lord down.
You will never convince me to kill the ones I love.
You go, Matthew. You show him. Show him who's boss.
Insolent brat!
You call everyone that. The Demon Lord gritted his teeth before sharply extending his hands towards Matthew's mother. We could only watch as red ethereal chains shot out from the Demon Lord's back towards Azera, wrapping around her form and crushing her. Oh god. I'm gonna try to fix this. Hold on.
No!
Oh shit. Stop it! Stop it.
Your energy, woman!
Oh my god, you piece of shit. Faster than we could react, red lightning began to surround and shock Azera's bound form. The red energy traveled through the chains holding her hostage and into the Demon Lord's body, making him glow a terrifying blood color. Whoa, god. A large sword formed in the Demon Lord's hand, arcing with red energy. Yes, red lightning. Yes, whatever. Matthew's first sword, which was impaled in the Demon Lord's stomach, crumbled into ash and fell to the floor, leaving a black scar mark. The Demon Lord's eyes, however, fixed themselves on Matthew's form with deadly intent.
I'll kill you!
Yeah, that's the idea. That's why we're here. That's why we're all here. Faster than I had thought imaginable, Matthew stepped forward and vanished, only to reappear in front of the Demon Lord with his sword held high. As Matthew swung his weapon down, however, the Demon Lord held out his hand and forced Matthew back with a burst of red energy. Matthew skidded backwards, crossing his sword over his body to shield himself from the blast. As the energy faded, the Demon Lord's lips curled into a crazed smirk.
Then come, little boy! Show me what you can...
With Diana and all this. Oh, the Demon Lord stopped, staring at Matthew as his body froze. I hitched my breath. What was happening? You called him a little boy. Oh no, that's like his trigger word right there. He's gonna fuck you up.
Enough.
Oh wait! Oh no! Yes! Yes, mom! Yes, mama! Yes! Yes, mommy! Yes! Don't let him bully you! Everyone turned their heads towards Matthew's mother, seeing her hold the chain that connected her and the Demon Lord in a tight grip. Her body was shaking, but the rage in her eyes could make any demon fall to their knees.
I will not let you hurt my son!
Yes, mommy, yes, yes. Before the Demon Lord could turn and do something, a large bolt of blue energy shot through the chain and into the Demon Lord's back, causing him to arch back and scream in pain. Yes, this is what I want. Yes. Haha. Ah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Matthew grabbed onto me and covered me with his body as Dana blocked her face with her arms. The magic was so powerful the room began to shake violently. Damn, girl, why didn't you do this in the first place? I watched from the cracks of Matthew's arms as dark black and red energy traveled down the chain from the Demon Lord into Azera's body, making her body pulse and grow in power. The Demon Lord, however, became weaker and surprisingly became much more frail. Oh, is she taking his energy? That'd be great.
You are my...
It's like, I'm your nothing.
I am not yours any longer!
Yes! Yes! Another heavy blue bolt rushed through the chain and into the Demon Lord's body, causing a splash of blood to jet from the Demon Lord's mouth. Yes! Matthew finally stepped away from me and began to walk at the Demon Lord, forming a sword in his hand. As he did, the Demon Lord collapsed onto the floor, on his hands and knees, and growled animalistically at his son.
It's over.
Yeah, bye. Bye, bitch. What surprised me was the smirk that graced the Demon Lord's bleeding lips and the chuckle that erupted from it. Why?
You are indeed the perfect son.
Well, too late. You only realize it now. Without another word, Matthew raised his sword and rammed it into the Demon Lord's neck, effectively pinning him to the ground and killing him. A bubbly cry of pain barely escaped the Demon Lord's mouth as his eyes glazed over, dead. Okay. Wow. That ended surprisingly very well. My heart felt major relief shaking a bit as the weight lifted off of my soul. The Demon Lord was dead at last. I was free and we could go home now. And no zombie Demon Lord or any some shit. Or no second boss battle with like Matthew's mom or some shit. I'm not up for it. Dinah spat to the side, catching my attention. Hey, what's up, homegirl?
To think his own wife and son would be the ones to kill him. What have I been doing for the past 10 years?
True? Oh, you right, girl. You right. She was like, fuck, man. Like, I was working my way up to this moment, and then I get this bullshit. Damn, Dana. Damn, man. I feel for you. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Yeah. What the fuck, man? What the fuck have you two been doing? I couldn't stop the amused smile on my face as Diana walked up beside me, rubbing her neck in irritation. Well, you can have a stab at him if that makes you feel better. I wouldn't mind. You weakened him a bit for them, I'm sure. Yeah, you did something. Diana rolled her eyes as Matthew finally rushed up to the dais towards his mother. Yeah.
Mother.
Oh. Oh. His mother wrapped her arms around Matthew, squeezing him to her. Matthew hugged her back just as tightly in kind, joyous to see her freed from the Demon Lord's power.
I'm right here. It's gonna be okay.
Hopefully. Like, no bullshit's gonna happen. Like, suddenly she reverts back to her orb form. I was beyond happy for Matthew. His mother was safe now, and the Demon Lord was defeated. I could feel some sort of weight lift off of my shoulders, knowing that the curse had been broken with his death. I smiled as I watched Azera cried in Matthew's arms. Before I could step forward to join them, however, Diana placed her hand in front of me, glaring ahead of her. I looked up at her with a very surprised face. Diana? What? I mean, if you're stopping me from, like, letting them reunite and have their family moment, then by all means, like, I understand. But, like, don't give me that bullshit, be like, the Demon Lord's getting up and shit.
Stay back.
Why? Why? Wait, go to Matthew, listen to Diana. Why? What's up, homegirl? I'm sketched. I'm so hella sketched. I don't like this. I want to listen to Diana because she seems like something's up. Something's up. Something's about to like fuck us over. And you know, shit. But I want to go to Matthew because you know, like I want to trust him and he's bae and shit. And I want to be loyal, ho. Okay, like I don't understand. Oh god. I'm gonna go to Matthew. Maybe I can jump in and prevent what's gonna happen. Maybe Azera is gonna be like she's gonna force him to take the throne and shit. Maybe. Okay, let's just go to Matthew. Diana was being paranoid. The Demon Lord was dead and Matthew's mother was safe. Nothing was wrong. She must be making a fuss over nothing. No. I don't trust this. See, I'm waiting for it. I pushed Diana's hand away and took another step forward before feeling Diana's hand grasp my shoulder, digging her fingers into it. Why? Ah.
I said, stay back.
Why? But tell me why, though. Give me a good reason. I stared wide-eyed at Diana, seeing a very frightening look in her eyes. Was something truly wrong? Or did... Oh my god, plot twist. I have a... Maybe like the Demon Lord was like, he switched appearance kind of thing. Where it's like, he's gonna put, Azera in the, in the image of the Demon Lord, and he's gonna play as Azera, and then he's gonna sacrifice Azera in his place. And so, who's truly dead right now is actually Azera instead of the Demon Lord, who's Azera right now. Right? Am I right? Oh my god, I'd be so fucking... I would lose it if I was right. I looked back to Matthew and his mother, now concerned.
My sweet Sakeru, you're finally home.
I feel like that's the case. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now.
Of course I am. I had to save you.
She's got that crazy look in her eyes. She's not sincere about this at all. Azera smiled and kissed Matthew's forehead, slowly rising to her feet with him. As she fully stood, something in the air changed. The room became a little more peaceful and bright as Matthew turned towards me and Diana. I don't fucking trust this.
I guess I can finally introduce you to my fiancée. She helped in saving you.
Oh my god, I don't fucking trust this. Azera smiled very softly and looked to Diana, passing over me. What? I felt a little angry at being ignored, but I understood. She wouldn't expect a human to be his future wife.
The princess of Lilith's kingdom is your intended?
No, right here. Over this way, ma'am. Yeah.
What? No, not her.
Yeah, hi. I'm Hannah. Before Matthew could step towards me, however, Azera's face delicately scrunched up at the sight of me. What the? She's like, I'm disappointed in you.
Why is a human here?
Or maybe Diana's trying to protect me because Azera is not so fond of humans. And she's gonna get hella violent with me.
Huh? Mom, that's my fiancé.
Yeah, hi. The atmosphere suddenly changed again. The air became colder and something wasn't right. Something in Azera's eyes changed too, becoming hard and vicious.
A human?
Yes, that be me.
Yeah?
It's either that or we're actually getting a second boss battle with Matthew's mom. I swear to God. I swear to God. I would have been so done if I was Hannah. I'd been like, fuck it, I just want to go home and now I gotta deal with this bullshit. Azera locked eyes with me and I suddenly gasped and became lost in my mind, detached from my body. I couldn't move anything or speak a single word and her eyes remained their icy blue color. What was happening?
Human. Who are you?
I'm Hannah. I was born in Chicago, apparently, and I was the granddaughter of Mr. Anderson, who ran a really huge toy company, and I'm a billionaire, apparently. Does that answer your question? I'm no one. I'm an army slut used for energy and sex. Hey, what the fuck? No. What? No. What? Excuse me? Matthew stared at me, completely shocked at what I had said. I, however, could only stare at Azera, whose gaze continued to burn into mine. Hey now, what the fuck is wrong with you? What have I done to offend you?
You are not expecting to be with my son, correct?
And she gonna make me say no. A human like me is not worthy. Yep, there we go. Oh, thanks Diana. Thanks homegirl. Instantly my mind was my own again and I released a gasp of surprise. I collapsed into Diana's arms as she reached out to catch me. Azera, however, as Azera looked to Diana, offense clearly written across her features.
How dare you!
Yo, shut the fuck up, my mother-in-law. God.
Matthew, get away from her!
Yeah, get away from her. Yeah, stay away.
What is going on?
She's gonna take control of you. Oh my gosh. Oh. I looked up and watched as Azera glared at her own son and placed her hand on his chest. Her hand was engulfed in a dark blue glow that spread to the taint on Matthew's skin. Some sort of invisible force pulled Matthew back and slammed his body into the Demon Lord's throne. Oh dear. Oh dear. Matthew! God fucking damn it. As his body came to rest against it, blue chains wrapped around the throne and Matthew's body. The chains The chains began to glow and tighten around him, locking him in place. Hey, this isn't exactly a great idea to put him on the throne when, you know, he can't fucking get off of it.
Filthy human bitch! You don't belong in this world, and you will never have my son!
Man, I was so God, yeah, what did I do to offend you? God, shit, I just only met you.
Mother, what are you?
Just gonna be like quiet.
Your mother's not here anymore, Matthew.
Oh dear, oh my. What? What does that mean, Diana? Explain.
She's been connected to the Demon Lord for too long. She's gone mad.
Oh, okay, alright.
Mad! I am speaking truth! The king of the demon world has no need for a disgusting human!
Girl?
What?
What? I'm just as confused as you are, Matthew. God. I didn't walk into this bullshit. King of the demon world? Yes, I figured she would want him to like be on the throne after the demon lord's killed off.
I'm afraid you are mistaken.
How am I mistaken? The demon lord is dead, so his son must take the throne!
Well, technically, Diana was gonna take it, so... And I don't think Matthew had any intentions of, you know, taking it.
The Demon Lord is dead. The rebellion has usurped the throne. Your son no longer has claim to it.
Yeah, that works in technicality as well.
The rebellion merely paved the way for the true king to ascend to the throne! My son was always destined to take it, and your little siege helped him achieve his fate!
I don't know what logic to believe anymore, so I'm gonna go with Diana.
Mother, stop!
Yeah.
Enough, Sekedu!
So you left me, and she's gonna put all the blame on him. The chains around Matthew's body tightened and he winced and choked out a gasp of pain. I instinctively reached out and tried to move towards him, but Diana held me back, protecting me still. Azera looked to him with a sad expression, tears almost filling her eyes. She's gonna lay it down on him. She's gonna be like, "You left me."
When you left,
Yep.
I was so alone. I didn't understand. I always asked, why? Why did my own son leave me here? You broke my heart. But then I realized it was part of your destiny.
Oh my.
Mother.
You were merely preparing to take the throne. You needed to experience the human world before returning and taking your rightful place when the time was right. That's why you joined the rebellion.
Uh-huh.
No, that's not true. I came because the demon lord cursed.
She's gonna be like, "No, I will have none of it."
Listen to yourself! You are a demon, Sekedu! You are the son of the demon lord, destined for greatness! Why are you fighting this?
No. Because there's more to life than this throne, Mother. Matthew pulled and struggled against the chains he was wrapped under, no longer answering his mother. Azera, however, turned to me and Diana, rage dancing within her eyes. Hey now, we can settle this, you know, without bloodshed, without having no one be killed, you know. Yeah? Yeah, let's just sit down and let's just talk.
You poisoned his mind. You enslaved my son!
Oh. Oh my. What? Excuse me? It wasn't true. I loved him and he loved me. This wasn't supposed to happen. Why was Matthew's mother doing this? Was she truly insane? I think so. I'm fully convinced. I mean, you sounded like a really nice lady before you started spouting this bullshit, so... Diana placed an arm on my shoulder, causing me to look up at her.
Don't bother listening to her. Her mind has been consumed by madness.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
And you, Princess of Lilith! You dare oppose this kingdom? You swore your allegiance to the heir of the Demon Lord, yet you march here with an army bent on destroying the kingdom that you had pledged yourself to!
Well, shit happens, okay? So...
The Demon Lord broke his promise and murdered my family while I was in the human world doing his dirty work. My vow changed accordingly, and I swore that I would see his kingdom fall. A whipped woman like you would never understand.
Oh, she gonna get mad at that.
Whipped? I merely waited for the chance to kill him so that my son could take his rightful place. Let's not forget that I was the one to strike the final blow on the bastard!
I will give you credit on that, but right now you're just... No. You need to stop. You need to just... Everyone just needs to chill.
I am warning you now. Stand down.
Yes, you could do this all without having to kill people, alright? Oh, the room became filled with dark energy as Azera glared hard at Dana, her eyes glowing a deadly gold color. However, Dana seemed to be unaffected by her gaze, returning the venomous look with a cold red-eyed stare. Red-eyed stare, yeah.
Such arrogance! You really think you can stand against me?
Oh man, well, good thing Dana saved up all her energy not fighting the Demon Lord so she can probably duke it out with Matthew's mom.
If it means finishing the job and freeing the world from madness, then yes.
Matthew, I hope you're not too offended by this. Azera snarled before a blue aura enveloped her form. Her eyes began to flicker between her natural eye color to gold as the room adopted an eerie chill.
Then allow me to clear the field of useless trash.
Now we all just get calling each other trash. God, okay. Alright. What I didn't expect was Azera shooting a blue and black chain at me, a large blade jutting out of the end, intent on running me through. Oh shit! Before I could scream, however, I was pushed back and fell onto the ground, the air in my lungs rushing out and leaving me breathless. Hey! What the actual fuck? I thought you had beef with Dana, not me. Okay, well technically she did kinda express disgust with me and disdain with me, but like seriously! God, ack! As I managed to look up, I saw Dana standing in front of me, wings splayed out wide behind her, twitching in furious rage. The chain in question had been knocked away and vanished into the air. Thanks, homegirl.
I won't let you touch her.
Aw, see? She loves me, and I love her as well. She's such homegirl. Homegirl's always got my back. But
has the human world tainted you too? You're defending a human! You claim that I am the one who is mad!
Okay, whatever. I ain't gonna argue.
Stop it!
I just want to stay out of this. Yeah, stop it. I just want to stay out of this. I just want to go home. Why are you bringing me into this bullshit?
Quiet!
Oh god. With a violent wave of her arm, Azera cast some sort of black mist over Matthew's mouth as it took physical shape. A large blue steel mask in the shape of a bird's beak formed over Matthew's nose and mouth, completely covering the lower half of his face. Wow, okay.
This is for you, Cicadu. Let me finally give you the world you deserve.
Oh man. Azera looked back at Diana, rage fueling her glare and the cold golden color over her iris. Okay.
I will warn you now, Queen of the Rebellion. You stand against a pure-blooded succubus. Do not think you have any advantage over me. In fact, I am stronger than you can ever hope to be!
Okay, alright. Another pure-blooded succubus? I knew Diana was, but I thought she was the only one. How could there have been another, right? Wow. Alright, that's new. Diana's quiet chuckle, however, broke me from my thoughts.
I recognize the strong scent of lilies. At least this fight will be interesting.
Alright, so apparently it's true. Her claims are true. Alright, oh damn. Something tells me I should just probably take a seat by where Matthew is, so like... Something in Diana's voice changed, shooting shivers down my spine. I recognized her tone of voice. The cruel Diana was back. Well, as long as her rage is directed towards, not me, then it's all great. However, Diana's hand reached back to me. What was she doing? Hey, now, hey, what?
Human, give me some of your energy. I don't need much to defeat this woman.
By all means, here, take my hand. Give her your hand, refuse. Yeah, okay. Go right ahead. Yeah, I didn't want this to happen, but Dana needed to fight her. Azera had already enthralled me once, and I knew I was no match for her. I took Dana's hand, feeling her quickly drain some energy from my body. The taint around her form began to pulse and glow slightly at the new energy in her body, but Dana didn't hold on for long. Dana pulled back her hand and began to chant quietly, waving her hand in the air by her head. Hope you don't take any offense to this, Matthew. Just saying, your mom's cray.
Enough talk! Die!
And you saw what she did to me, so like, I'm a little cheesed. Alright, bye. Bye, you guys. At the sound of Azera's words, a volley of chains rushed out from behind her body and shot themselves towards Diana. Before they could reach her, however, Diana formed a familiar saber in her hand, parrying all of them and knocking them away from her. Alright, goddamn, hold on. I just want to check on, like... I feel like I should just leave this this surprise battle to the next episode where we'll probably most likely finish off Matthew's route after this showdown. Oh my god, like this is like dang. Okay, like I kind of expected like a second battle to happen just because James and Eric had something similar happen. I feel was it yeah because Eric had the Demon Lord. After defeating the Demon Lord, it was Orabel who took control of the Demon Lord, and that's how the second fight happened. And then for James's route, it was with the Angel after the Demon Lord was killed off. So yeah, I figured, and again, as I said, apparently Sam's route is canon, so whatever happened happens there. We only really did fight the Demon Lord, so now when we're here in Matthew's route, I was certain that a second battle would happen after the Demon Lord was killed. So yeah, alright. Oh damn. Alright. Tune in next time to see what would happen to this whole secondary battle between Diana and Matthew's mom. And we're just here on the sidelines, basically. Like us and Matthew, we're just basically just there now. We have no involvement of this, or if anything, Azera is probably gonna try to like pull some shit on with us again. But anyways, Diana stopped it the first time. I'm pretty sure it won't happen again. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode, and we can finally finish this one off. So bye.